If you've already read a lot of resumes or listened to a lot of audition tapes, this one may just put you to sleep. Oops. Or maybe it won't. My name is Ken Berhens, and I'm production director for WJBC, a 50-year-old station that's #1 in our market. I'm in charge of commercial production and do a great many of them myself, such as this, where I played WC.
I hate dogs, I hate spring, I hate hay, I hate Hayworth.
Do you hate kids too?
No, I love children.
You do?
Yeah, I love them with mustard.
Do you like food?
Yes, my little sweet potato.
I bet you like the beef place.
I remember it well, my little lady. Back in 1903, I ordered a beef sandwich there.
Back in 1903?
What an ostentatious display of beef on a bun.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, it was a palate pleaser, a panacea.
Gee, mister, you sure have a good memory.
Indubitably, my little chickadee. There was a fellow there by the name of Harry Jarman. Ate 14 beef sandwiches, 6 pastrami's, 4 pizzas, and 3 dill pickeyes.
Wow, what happened to him?
Disappeared in a pothole on South Bun Street Road.
Good things to eat are at the beef place, IAA Drive, Bloomington.
You don't have to go through Hayworth to get there, do you?
Or here's one where I played a customer.
Toothpaste, deodorant,
excuse me.
toothbrushes, Band-Aids.
Pardon me, but about my film.
Film? What film?
My film. I'd like to know if my pictures have been developed yet.
Your pictures? Well, gee, mister, how should I know? I'm just a checker here.
But I left them here a month ago.
Castor oil, yeah. Well, maybe they got mixed up with something.
You couldn't have lost them. I mean, they were my photos of the biggest fish I ever caught. Oh, boy, am I getting a headache.
Really? We have special on aspirin. Listen, mister, you come to a drugstore for drugs and stuff. You want special service on your film, you go to a picture place.
Hey, that's the idea. For fast, expert photo processing and great prices, see the experts at the Picture Place in Colonial Plaza. They'll process your Color 2 film right there in their lab. Next day service on most color print film, too. The Picture Place, just west of Kmart in Colonial Plaza. They don't do a bit of business with prescriptions, but they do a heck of a job with pictures.
Or how about a promotion for a benefit with donkeys?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're broadcasting to you live from the Bloomington High School Gymnasium, where the donkey basketball game is about to begin. The WJBC team is to play the girls' team from Bloomington High School, but before the start of the actual game, WJBC's team members are being given their final instructions. Wait, I think I see the jackasses coming out on the floor now, which means we should be starting soon. Now all we need is the donkeys. Don't miss the fun Saturday night at 8 o'clock when Paul the Demon Dunn, Denny the Angry Atkins, Larry the Wicked Whitaker, Jim the Crusher Cutler, and Ken the Bruiser Behrens. You don't mind if I blow my own horn, do you? What was I saying? Oh, yes, the WJBC team will meet the team made up of Bloomington High School girls at Bloomington High School Gym at 8. Tickets are on sale at Bloomington High School, J. Howard Bros Sporting Goods, and in the Eastland Mall. Proceeds will be used by the Bloomington chapter of the American Field Service for their exchange student program. Be there! Yes, you too.
Oh, that breath. Our station is very active in the community, and we try to assist listeners with our own action line. In these days of tight inflation, making money stretch through all the due bills can be quite a trick, but it's even harder when you pay them twice.
Well, the basic problem was that we had received a yearbook from this encyclopedia company, and the payment notice came in the mail, and we paid it. Or I should say my husband paid it. And then we got a second notice, which I opened, and I made a second payment. And then when the first check cleared, then I realized that it had already been paid, so I put a stop payment on the second check. Unfortunately, the company didn't catch this, and I wrote them a letter and explained it. And we were billed about 4 or 5 times before we called Action Line, and it took one phone call from Action Line to straighten the matter out.
The WJBC Action Line, staffed by WJBC's own consumer advocate Sandra Scott and volunteers from the League of Women Voters. If you have a consumer or governmental problem, maybe the Action Line can help. WJBC's Action Line, open weekdays from 1 till 2 at 827-2000. I've been at WJBC for the past 5 years. In fact, I started here right after graduation from Illinois State University. And during those 5 years, I've met and talked with a great many fascinating people.
the pressure, you know, of the travel and being on the road all the time takes its toll. It's the hardest thing about this business is the fact that you're away from home so much.
Hey, now that the Watergate scandal has just about burned out, what's the newest topic for joke making?
Well, I have never gone with trends like that. I might do a few lines and talk about it if I feel like doing so. I never did anything on Watergate when it was hot, because everybody was doing it. If I get something like that everybody does it, I steer clear of it. I talk about just life in general, just the everyday life, and put things that happen to people. I enjoy that.
Now, you say you didn't have any amateurs on. That talent scout show is actually people who were professional, or...
That's right, people who were making their living in the show business.
But just hadn't made it on network TV.
That's right. That was the idea, was to give them an exposure nationally, and from there, lots of them went on. Like Eddie Fisher in the beginning, Lenny Bruce, the McGuire sisters.
During that time, you must have seen an awful lot of changes take place in the movie industry.
Yes, Ken, well, you know, when you're on any job for 40 years, you wear a lot of hats, and you never get rid of them. Primarily, I'm the head of sound effects department, and the voices that I do came along because, well, in the case of Mickey, let's say, about 26 or 27 years ago, of course, Walt had always done Mickey. So whenever I do it, I feel I'm still standing in for Walt.
How did those road shows ever come about?
Well, they were started because Bing and I had worked together, and somebody saw us work out at Del Mar, the racetrack, and decided that we had a little chemistry going, so they put us together.
Do you correspond with Miss Vicky at all?
Not at all, and I guess it's best that way. You know, she said to me before she left in 74, January, we can always be friends, and I say that, you know, after I've called you sweetheart, how can I call you friend?
I've been a morning man during my entire stretch at the station, and that requires talking to farmers, not only on the air, but at meetings. And every day, because in radio we're concerned about our audience and how we're going over, I drive through the country, and I try to figure out how the day's program went earlier in the day. And believe it or not, these cows communicate to me. And it's all done with the tail. It really is. Yesterday, I had a very good day. I drove through the country, and there were 15 cows waving their tails at me. Pretty good, I'd say. Now, today I had a rather lousy day, and cows have a very definite way of telling you they disapprove of something. Again, they use their tails. They don't wave them, they raise them. That's an attempt at humor before 42 farmers and their wives who were in Bloomington for the National Outstanding Farmers Competition sponsored by the JCs. During my stretch at WJBC, I've walked 20 miles for a Walk for Mankind project. I won a celebrity heat in a demolition derby at the county fair. I've been dunked for charity in a dunk tank. I've played basketball on a donkey's back, and have done MC work for various shows and benefits. That's a bit of my most recent history to date. If I can fill you in on other details, I'd be glad to do it. My address is Ken Berhens, 1305 Townley Drive, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. Or you can call 309-663-4544 after 2 p.m. Thanks for the time, and thanks for listening.